Hi everyone, so today LDRS Creative is launching their new Good Cheer collection. Just a lot of beautiful items. I have some to review for you guys, so I'm going to show you everything that I have, and then of course I'll make tutorials, subsequently after I do this one. So these items were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchased items to those links. So thank you for using those if you would like to. Generally I link those to LDRS Creative. Sometimes scrapbook.com also carries some other lines, and sometimes maybe it's a little further down the line. So for today, I know for sure it'll be down in there for LDS Creative, and it's possible some of your scrapbook stores have these in stock now and things like that, so you might want to check those out locally, which is always great. So let me separate these things out into what makes sense, because I know some of these have stencils and things. I mean, we have some layering dies. Oh my goodness, I will be right back. Okay guys, so let's look at these items first. I think there might be a little hiccup with one of these things over here, but we'll talk about that in just a moment, because I know if something has a stencil and a stamp, possibly a foil plate, I'm asking for all those items so we can check them out and have them together. And I have one plate, but then I have a stencil and a die for something else, so I think these were supposed to be the same. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I will say sometimes LDRS Creative has bundles now. They have class bundles too. Like Angie will do a class and it'll be all about, let's say, the autumn blooms, or the Happy Holidays press and foil plates, or however. And you can pick up a class kit or bundles. So just know that. But for right now, I always put the link to just basically the whole collection. And then if I'm working with a couple items, I will put individual links for those couple of items. But you can definitely just click on the generic link and you can see everything. And then you'll see the bundles there. Unless I work with something in a way that has a bundle, then I'll just go ahead and put that bundle up there for you guys too. So thanks for checking those out. But I love layering dies. So they have several different new ones. I picked out these guys, the Stitch Scallop Arch dies. So as you can see, they have an arch shape, and then they have a little scallop and the stitching, and I love it. Just like it says there, so you have 5 dies. I was going to count them all. Let me grab my ruler. I like to go through each and every item, and then we will make something quick towards the end here. So it's a little bit over 5.5 inches, so I'm assuming it's 4 1/4 the other way. Yep, and metal to metal, it's going to be a little bit bigger than that, so you want a machine that can accommodate that, and they are gorgeous. So the largest one is A2 size, and you can go from there. Great for making a shaped card. I think it'd be really cute. So there's the Stitch Scallop set. The mixed scallop rectangle dies, super cute. I love this little label die in the center, so it's going to cut the edge, but the middle part is like embossed. It's not cut, so it's not just like a little frame. It's an embossed label, which is very cute. This one also, again, has the embossing there, embossing, embossing, embossing. So they all make a matte layer, basically. Very cool. There are 6 dies on that one. And let's see, this one's just shy of 5.5, so I'm sure it's, just about 4 1/8, so it's a nice matte layer for your A2 size cards on the largest one. These guys, there's some very cool shapes. I chose the ovals, but I believe they have them in other shapes. So this is the hand-torn ovals. There are 8 dies in this one. This guy's big. As you can see, it's like 6 3/4 almost by 4 3/4, I would say, on the largest one. And then you have all the dies down into this little guy. Very cool. Let's look at the watercolor paper at the end. So just real quick, I think this is the one where maybe I was supposed to have the Pinecone Blooms plate, and then the stencil, and then the die for it, because right now what I have is the Romantic Bouquet plate, and then these guys by themselves. I mean, you can use the stencils by themselves. I'm not going to say you can't. It just won't have a line from like the press plate. See how this is Pinecone Blooms press plate, right? So this should be that. Then you color it with the stencil, and then you can cut it with your die. So, I suppose I could still make the creation, like I said, it just won't have lines. So that's something to think about. And then I have the die for it. Again, these are all a la carte. They're all sold separately, but sometimes they have bundles. So I just want to mention that because I know people have asked, like, oh, can we get more bundles going? And they have been doing that the last few collections, which is really great. So they're listening to that feedback. Again, I have the Romantic Bouquet press and foil plate, but I believe it should have been the other one. And it does say it has a coordinating product of the die. So if you want the die to cut that out, which I always love for any kind of anything. If it's a stamp, it's a plate. I love having the die if it's available. So just know that is available for that one. And let me show you what the Pinecone Bloom looks like, so you have an idea. I know it's hard to tell with the stencil and then just the outline there, but you have these beautiful things and the little pine cone back there with those beautiful blooms. Happy Holidays press and foil plate. So this is very similar to the romantic bouquet in that you have your press and foil plate. You have the word Happy Holidays on this one. And then you have the die set that you can pick up separate. So Happy Holidays dies, so it'll cut out that large guy for you. It does have this centerpiece if you want to place that to make it more delicate in here, unless you just want one like matte layer kind of thing. And then the Happy Holidays even has a background. I love that, or a shadow die, so you can cut out your Happy Holidays and then also cut out from there. These are for the better press. They're the impression plates. I probably should mention at the very top. I'm sorry, I know I've discussed them before, but you can definitely put this in your hot foil machine. So if you have a hot foil machine, you can put these plates in there. It's geared towards the better press plate, but LDRS Creative and Angie, they will tell you can use them in the hot foil machine, like a glimmer machine, you know, whatever hot foil machine you have. You do not want to put hot foil machines into your better press though, because generally they're thicker. So just know that. You can always put these kind of plates into your hot foil, but you don't want to put your hot foil plates into your better press, okay? So there's that. We have some stamps here, and LDRS Creative works in photopolymer, so, you know, good cheer sentiments, and it's kind of fun. Like this one's like fuzzy looking and different fonts and things, so love and warmth, and it looks like cozy and fuzzy. Merry Christmas, fa la la, Merry Christmas. You have Holly Jolly, wishing you a holiday that's merry and bright. You have this cute little like, just like a little extra something if you want to put around some of these sentiments or something. You know, you have your lines, like when you're writing your to and from, which they have there. Just cute little bits. Christmas and Merry Little. So it's showing you there all the sentiments. I mean, there's just a ton. This is a big stamp set. Good cheer sentiments. Autumn Blooms. So this is really cool. Again, photopolymer stamp sets, Autumn Blooms stamps, and hopefully you can see, I mean, they're a good size. Like this guy's like 2 inches, you know, almost 2 inches on that one. So you have your blooms and your leaves, and you have the different layers, and they're not super fussy. You know, you have the background, a little more detail, a little more, and that's what that one is. You know, you have these guys for your leaves. It shows you here the recipe, if you will. Super cute little center there. So all the different ways you can pair that together. And then you also have this guy, the masking stencil. So it does come with the cutouts, so you can use those however you'd like, but it also comes with this guy so that you can pair those together. So it just says use our coordinating mask stencils. Oh, sorry. Our coordinating mask stencils are crafted to seamlessly complement our stamp sets. They facilitate effortless stamping or coloring. Simply place the positive cut pieces over their corresponding images using temporary adhesive, then stamp over with another image. Upon remove the stencil, it creates illusion of the second image being positioned behind the first. Right? So there's ways of using these guys or using this, depending on what you want to do. So very cool. You can pick those guys up again separately. Maybe they have a bundle. I don't know that right now because I'm filming ahead of time. The Winter Blooms, very similar. You have your beautiful flowers. You can see like this guy's like 2 1/4, you know, almost 2 inches on that one. You have your recipe back here. This one has a few more layers. Of course, you want it to be very intricate, so it makes a really nice rose for you. Very pretty, like, I would say like poppy looking flower maybe, and anemone or something. And then it tells you it coordinates with this guy, and again you have your stencil to mask or to stencil with, or however, depending on what you want to do, right? Block something out, so you can do a little inking around it or however, but different ways to use that. Very cool. Very pretty. This one has like everything. So this one is the Sweet Magnolias collection within the Good Cheer collection there. It has a 3D embossing folder. And look how beautiful these are. I mean, just lovely. I tell you, in Georgia, when we lived there, we had 2 big magnolias. Actually, I think more than that, but right in front. Beautiful, and they were trained in a way that were like conical. I don't know how to tell you. They were just so pretty. And so I always love that about that house. So we have those guys. You have the Sweet Magnolias layering stencils. There's 5 stencils in here. So you can kind of see the detail. And there you go. You have your colorful magnolias. You have the photopolymer stamp set. Really, I mean, this is a big boy. Look at that. It's almost 6 inches large as far as the design, about 4 inches wide. You are loved. I'm lucky to have you, I'm lucky to have a friend like you. Sending very special hugs your way, wishing you every happiness. And then this smaller kind of little design there. Just beautiful. Look at the imagery on that. It's lovely. They're showing you some ideas. And then you can pick up the die set, or again, maybe there's a bundle. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I assume there would be on something like this one. You can cut out the smaller guy, you can cut out the sentiments, and of course that background piece. So you're going to have your stenciling, your embossing, your stamping, everything for this set, which is very lovely. This one. Okay, so Christmas puzzle. I believe there are some other ones that coordinate with this. I chose to get the basic set, which is the Christmas puzzle frames. And so you can make, you have this piece, right? You can stamp it all at once. Or make your own kind of design with all these other pieces here, so you have an idea what that might look like. Look how cute. And then you just stamp in there with your stamp position or however, different colors. It makes a really cute background. It almost looks quilted. And then you have the stencil and the stamp. So these other stamp sets will help you finish that off. Like I said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there might be other seasons, but you have the Christmas puzzle scenes. So you have your Santa hat and all those cute things. Look at that. Adorable. So all these little motifs, vignettes. Let me give you a sizing on this guy though. This guy's stamp. So the stamp itself is like 4 1/8 by just 5 1/8. So it's going to be a nice matte layer for an A2 size card. And then you have the Christmas puzzle masking stencil. So again, you have the, you know, the mask itself, or like this kind of thing where you can still do some little coloring. You can use it to guide you. Like let's say you have this and then you're going to stamp one of these guys. Okay, well maybe I want to put this over that spot. Stamp in there, and that way you know it's perfectly centered and layered into that spot, right? So definitely I think a must-have with this set, this collection. Okay, so that's the Christmas puzzle frames. A little itchy over here. Little allergies itching me here. The Elders Creative watercolor paper, and there are some beautiful examples there of doing some watercoloring. So there's a 110-pound cotton watercolor paper, 8.5 by 11 sheets. So that's some really nice thick paper. It is acid-free and archival, it says, and there are 20 sheets in here. So let's just check it out. So we have some beautiful watercolor paper, and it's just an essential, it's staple, and I love to have something like this to share with you guys. So whenever we go to use it, it feels very smooth. I love that. I know the color, sorry about my lighting, is like, it's super, super smooth. I mean, what more can you say? Cotton watercolor paper that has a really nice smoothness to it. So very nice and thick too with the 300 GSM or 110 pound. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is put some of these things to the side, and we will make a little tutorial. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I think what I'll do is just a little bit of something from quite a few different items here. So I think I'll do is I'll get the sentiment from this guy, and I'll probably go ahead and cut it out with one of the dies. So these are stamps. Like I said, photopolymer, we're just going to stamp, you know, ink it up, stamp it, cut it out. From the Sweet Magnolias, I think I'll go ahead and use the Romantic Bouquet, so you can see that, you know, you can just use your plate, nice and simple on a note card type thing. But I think what I'll do is I'll cut it out with maybe like this scalloped one right here. It's gonna look really pretty, and then I'll have a background scallop too. So I'm gonna layer this up a couple times, and so I'll need my better press. I'm thinking maybe just to ink this up in like a pink, something cute in the background, and just leave it that way. So, ooh, Lipstick Jungle's fun. That one's kind of bright. I'm thinking something like this guy, Pink Tutu. So it'll just be a cute pink color. And so let me grab some papers that I'll do my borders and, you know, matte layers with that will play off this pink. So I'll be right back. I'm super inspired by this pink. What I'll do is I have this A2 size card base. It's already something I had in my stash, but if you want an A2 size card base that stands up like this, or you can even use it this way, kind of fun. You're just going to take an A2 size piece of paper and cut it at 4 1/4, you know, on the width here, and then score it at 5.5 inches. So we have that guy. And then I'm going to use this. I love the layering dies that LDRS Creative puts out. They're always so cute and really fun and just super useful, or again, very decorative. I mean, just, I love the designs that they do. So I'm gonna use this hot kind of pink paper, run that through, so I have that guy. And then I was going to stamp this, or, you know, on white paper, but then I thought, why don't we just use more pink paper? So I'm going to do this pink here. I'm going to trim it down because I used it on a Cricut project, as you can see here. I'm just going to trim it down because I'm going to get this on here, and then we'll run it through, you know, our die cutting machine. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just cutting this by eye. So I suppose the next thing we're going to do is a little better pressing here. And the reason I even brought this pink out, because I thought, oh, I'll just stamp the sentiment on that. But you know what? Let's do the whole background piece this way. I think that'll be really fun. And I mean, you even have these little label dies in here that can cut out your sentiment too, but since we have the shaped sentiment for it, I figured I'll just use that die. Lots of fun ways to mix and match. And that's why I love sets like this, honestly. You guys know I always take things and I'll cut it with like my paper trimmer, but it's much better to have something cute like this one or like this one, right? Or match those together, pair them up. Okay, let's get this guy over here. And I'm not paying too much attention how this is. I mean, if you want it a little bit sideways or that kind of thing, but I'm going to take my die and cut this out anyway, so for now I'm just kind of putting it here pretty much the way you see it, straight up and down. But if you want to play with that, you can definitely give it a different direction. Oh, let's go ahead and stick this down next. I know there was like a little schmutz on the paper there. I don't know if you can barely see it, but I'm going to put it so that this side is facing down and that schmutz side is not there, basically. And again, this is just a scrap of paper. I just made it bigger than what I would need, so that way when I use my die, I have a little room to kind of play with that. And these are hybrid inks, and I've used them on my plates before, on the impression plates, on better press plates, and they work really well, so why not keep trying them out. So again, just like you do, you want to get your color all over this. And it does have the same kind of fabric top that your archival inks might have to help you get that application on there. If any of that little fiber comes off, make sure look at your plate. I do have some right here. Get rid of that because it will definitely print on your plate. Ask me how I know. You guys probably remember. Oh, that I recently did that. How the heck did this come off? Like, this tape is really sticky, so maybe it's lost its stick. Okay, there we go. And alright, we'll put this over here. I'm going to run this through a Platinum 6 machine, but with a better press you can run it through basically any machine that takes steel roll dies, which I know that's kind of old school, but some newer machines only take thin metal dies in a way that it's only like a thin sandwich, and we don't want that. You need something that can accommodate this big guy. Alright, let's put this up. This is just some heavyweight pink paper. Look how pretty. Just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to clean this up. I do have the LDRS Creative Extreme Clean. You can use it on your plates. You can use it on your stamps. It's a stamp cleaner. But it removes this stuff. Or just wipe it down, or, however. In a pinch, I just use alcohol, wipe it down. But I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to wipe it away with a paper towel that I thought I had. I guess I don't. I'll be right back. So, I mean, that's really clean. It's even picking up some stuff that's on my plate here from before, which is nice. But yeah, so wipe that guy off. It is a big boy. It's kind of moving around. It doesn't really let me pick it up, but there you go. I mean, look how nice and clean that is. Okay. And then, like I said, if you want to use it there, it'll help you clean up even what was on there prior, which is great. Okay. Let me clean up just a bit. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the other bright pink that we're cutting out with that one layer, and then this guy. Look how cute. Oh my gosh. And then we're going to have our sentiment kind of big. I mean, I can really cut that anywhere. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Maybe like here. Okay, that's why I gave myself some extra paper, so I would have some fun moving that around. Okay, I'll run these two through and I'll be right back. Okay, just perfect, gorgeous. Look at that. I love that little embossed detail. Yep. Alright, so let's get this on here. So I'm just going to glue that right down. How cute would this be for a shaped card? You can see it's a little smaller than A2 like we discussed earlier when I was taking some kind of quick measurements on those for you. But that'd be really cute. Okay. And I'm going to leave the edges free floating just because why not? So I just put the glue kind of centered here. And I'm going to pop up the sentiment on some dimensionals. So for this guy in the next layer, I'm just going to lay it flat. So cute. Okay. And I'll just pop this on here. and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is a tough choice. I'm just thinking about the stamping. I got some white paper, so obviously gonna bring white back from the background. And we can stamp in the pink, that would look really lovely. I was gonna stamp it in black just so it really pops, but just something to think about. Let's do this. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and emboss. I'm gonna use some ink that's a little bit hard to dry. It takes time, so I'm going to heat seal it. Yes, I'm already basically reading this correctly. Sending very special hugs your way, wishing you every happiness. You are loved. I'm lucky to have a friend like you. I'm thinking about this one, sending very special hugs your way. And should we just go for it? We're gonna cut it out anyway. I think it'll be fine. So we have that, we have this, we have this, we have this. Do a little of this if you like. If you're gonna use embossing powder, when I use clear embossing powder, I don't really mind if it gets, you know, kind of stuck where I don't want it. But if you're gonna color something and you have some clear dots where you don't want them, you're gonna notice it, all right? So you can use a little embossing buddy, embossing pouch, whatever it is that they call them nowadays. Little cornstarch, but very fine. Anyway, I'm gonna put this on here and let that really soak in. Lovely. Look how nice. And again, these are photopolymer stamps. They do have a little sticky dispersion layer, like you heard it kind of come away. If for some reason that keeps it from stamping very clearly for you, just stamp it off a few times before you use it on your actual project. But as you can see, I mean, I give that tip and I never have done that. I don't think. And it always works really well. But if for some reason you're having a hard time, you can definitely get that layer off. Or get a little alcohol on a wipe it off. Just you want to get the stickiness removed. But there you go. So we have that. I'm going to heat set that and I'll be right back. I love it. The lettering is so substantial that it really takes that embossing. You see that? Now sometimes when it's very thin, it kind of melts away, that kind of thing. But this really took it in really nicely. Okay, I'm just going to pour this back in here. And when I'm talking about heat setting it, I don't know where you are on your crafting journey. It's just taking a heat tool, and that's why I don't really record it, and just go over it. And once you see it turn like that nice shiny texture, move away. Keep going. If you stay in the one area too long, it starts like melting away and it just like disappears. I don't even know how to explain that or why that happens, but that's what happens. So just as soon as you see it turning shiny from that matte powder, just keep going. Okay. That's funny. I was like, why did I just put the stamp over here? I wiped it off with the same stamp cleaner that was still in that little paper towel. And then I just put the whole thing to the side. Okay. Let's get this guy, and it looks like it's this one up here. What do you guys think? I feel like it's this one. Yep. All right. Again, you can see right down in there. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can definitely make yourself a little aperture. It's right on the lettering. So what I'm going to do is, I was going to grab something else maybe for a drop shadow, but I really like the way it is right now. So what I'm going to do is just take this and cut it right down the middle. I'll show you a quick trick that helps a lot of people out. So whenever you're not sure where a die might cut, or you just want to have a little more accuracy, and it works pretty well. Sometimes it still might shift on you, but it's better than nothing. Get yourself some washi, probably more than that, but this is all that came off here. Find a spot that's relatively flat like here, and just run it through. So scrap paper, if you're going to do a drop shadow, use the drop shadow paper that you're going to use. That way you're not wasting anything at all. And then you just run that through, and you don't remove the die. What you do is remove the die cut, and then use that as a little window to help you see where you're cutting. And I mean, this is right on that lettering, so I wanted to get a little more accuracy, hopefully. So, you know what, I'm gonna let that tear away, because well, okay, so there's that. If you want to use the drop shadow, you can keep that. I don't really want this on here, because I don't want to pull it away at all, so let's get rid of that excess. And you can see right through this. I know it's white on white, so it's harder to see, but you can see where you're going to be cutting. So place this where you think it looks best. I mean, that looks really good right there. Lay this back down, make sure it hinges right back where it was, because sometimes it can move from, you know, just it moves. And then tape this back down. Generally I use a good generous amount of tape, but I'm kind of on the outskirts of this right now. Hopefully I didn't move too much. Okay, and then just run it through again. I try to hold it tight so it doesn't move. And then you can take out your little lettering, and hopefully it's just more right on than if you had just eyeballed it. Look at that. I mean, that is right on there. So good. Let me put some dimensionals on the back of this, and I'll be right back. Dimensional on there. It's hard to see with the white on white there, but there we go. And you always want to make sure you're opening your card the right way. I didn't check this time, but we're good. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I love it. Okay. And what I mean by drop shadow is if you cut out the same thing, like, you know, I put it to the side here. Let's say this was like glittery pink or a hot pink or a light pink or whatever, and then you just put it behind this one. And then however you would like to do that, right? So that's what a drop shadow is. If you are not familiar, this is so pretty. I kind of want it to go off the edge. And I'm just eyeballing this, guys. Here, it looks really nice. Gorgeous card. Elegant. You know, LDRS Creative, they have elegance, they have fun, they have cutesy, they have everything you could imagine in their designs. I love it. I do want to say, when I was putting away this stamp, like, oh, this carrier feels kind of thick for the Sweet Magnolia, and look at this. You guys, there's info in here, and it's full color, and it is gorgeous, and I, you know, wish I had noticed at the top, so hopefully you're still with me and you're watching, and you can see there, it, you know, tells you maybe some designs it plays well with, it says. You know, it has basically the little scalloped edge like we just used right now on this one. They did a little stamping in the background, and then they're showing you how you would want to do your stenciling there. That's really pretty. I love this. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks so much, LDRS Creative, for sending these items for review. I will have many more videos for you, of course, coming up. I'll have the links in the description box. I really appreciate if you would use those. It really helps out. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.